Today, we're joined by two professionals working at the intersection of law, talent, and emerging technology. Will Angood runs a specialist legal service that helps tenants pursue housing disrepair claims against landlords to get their homes fixed and secure compensations. Alongside him is Siamak Goudarzi, a senior lawyer and expert in AI governance and ethics. With years of legal experience, he advises businesses and law firms on adopting artificial intelligence responsibly, securely, and in line with regulatory frameworks. Together, they bring practical insight into the future of law, talent, and artificial intelligence.
Hi, Will. How are you?
Hi, Siamak. Hi. Very good. Thank you. Yourself?
I'm good, thank you. Good to meet you.
You too.
We'd love to talk about how law firms are dealing with client intake. And in order to get into it, I would like to start with you introducing yourself and tell us what you do in your business.
Sure. So here at Housing Disrepair Helpline, I launched the business some 10 and a half years ago with a solicitor partner of mine who was looking for housing work. And we weren't sure whether the concept worked, so I started off with a bag full of leaflets and headed off to East London and started putting them through letterboxes. And within 24 hours, we started getting phone calls. So following the phone call, I personally would go and visit the client's property, explain to them about their rights with regards to the Landlord and Tenant Act, and investigate as to whether they had a potential housing disrepair claim. Now, that involved taking damp meter readings, photographs, writing a report to the solicitor, and then also explaining to them what was in the conditional fee agreement and so getting them to sign with the specific solicitor that I was working with at the time. Then all that information would be translated over to the solicitor. Back in those days, I used to go to his office and actually stick my phone in the machine, in the computer, and just upload the photographs and transfer them onto his system. And since we started nearly 11 years ago, within 6 months, we realised the scope that we had and the number of people that were out there looking for no win, no fee help, because there was so many people were being ignored by their landlords, and they had no access to justice. But also, they didn't understand their rights. Landlords don't tend to tell people that if we don't repair your home, you can actually get legal help and we have to pay for it. So a lot of what we were doing in the very early days was educating the market, educating tenants with our marketing literature as to what their rights are. So, sorry, I didn't start properly. I should have said I'm a managing director of Flybell Limited. And one of our trading names is Housing Disrepair Helpline, launched in 2015.
Okay, brilliant. So I heard that housing disrepair cases have increased dramatically over the last few years. Is that right? And I believe that there are more and more cases, and people are getting thanked to you, and you're making awareness. More and more people are trying to claim for these repairs, right?
There are more and more people trying to claim. A lot of this has been driven by marketing by firms that were hit by LASBO and were looking for an avenue to put their staff into, which they thought was profitable some 5-6 years ago. The challenge the industry has is that housing disrepair claims tend to run very differently from personal injury claims, tend to be a fair bit more complex, and it's not something you can factory farm, which unfortunately a lot of firms, specifically in the Northwest, have tried to factory farm this, which then inundates the landlords with a lot of claims which tend to be bogus. Because when the aspects of extensive commission get involved in looking for claims, you're going to get a situation where people that are visiting properties or they are speaking to them on the telephone are going to start to elaborate a little bit untruthfully on what's going on in the home to get the solicitor to take it on, to pay them straight away. Then the solicitor's going to write to the landlord. Now the landlord has a great responsibility and will undergo a great deal of cost to have to go investigate these claims. A lot of firms have joined the sector instead of sort of learning slowly, growing slowly, have gone into it way too fast, in my opinion. which means that the claimant's claims are not being run necessarily correctly, and the standard of claim is not quite there, which is then costing the landlord a lot of money and then creating a very bad reputation for the industry.
Okay, so what sort of challenges do you have? I want to go into some statistics and based on research, say what the data suggests regarding the time of response and how crucial it is to be very quick in responding to inquiries and how much firms are losing by delaying the response. But I want to know first your experience with this. How satisfied are you with the way that things are responded to? Basically, how do you respond first, and then how the solicitors respond to inquiries and claims, whether or not they get back quickly, and how it affects the business overall?
As you know, traditionally, solicitors are not always the quickest to respond, either on the claimant or the defendant side. So in terms of what we do here at Housing Disrepair Helpline, we will receive an inquiry into our office. We have a call centre here in Vauxhall. As soon as we receive the inquiry, we're on the telephone to the client. We would hope to be at their property within 24 hours to investigate their issues. And then that claim will then be on a solicitor's desk within another 24 hours. Now, we don't sell claims in terms of straight up upfront selling. We work on a profit share basis with all our partners. So over the years, we've honed our partners to ensure that the ones that we work with are the ones that respond. So our partners, solicitor firms that we work with, are exceptionally responsive to the claimant. The claimants are frustrated, they're upset, there's no one in their corner. And I think the key to a housing disrepair claim is having them feel that at least they've got someone that's there to help them. So solicitors firms that we do work with are all very client focused, and their response rates to any inquiry is exceptional. However, having said that, over the years, we have worked with numerous firms where response rates are terrible. And when you work on a profit share agreement, it's no surprise that there's a correlation between the firms that respond badly and the profit shares you get from them. So that's why there's a direct correlation. And then we've actually got rid of those firms from our panel. So we now tend to work with a smaller number of firms with a higher volume. They have the correct setup that suits what we want, because also my company's name is on that claim as well. We've been out to see the client, and the number of referrals we get is exceptional. And that's simply from a word of mouth from our clients because of the service that's given not only by ourselves, but also by our solicitor partners.
The issue of quick response is a global issue. I mean, there are some statistics that 35% of the calls to law firms go unanswered, and that creates that 26% of law firms don't even respond to online leads at all. So we are talking about answering the phones and also responding to online leads through emails or through chatbots. And the speed is basically speed equals money. So 391% increase in conversion with 1 minute response time. So as technology improved and advanced, clients' expectation also advanced. We are not talking about the same expectations of 10 years ago. Every year, as technology advances and as clients see other firms, how quickly they respond, their expectation has gone up. So if a firm responds within 1 minute, there is 391% increase in conversion. And if they respond within 5 minutes, it's 21 times more likely that they convert. So after that, if they don't answer within 30 minutes, you're talking about a drop of 40%, 50% chance of the client going elsewhere. That means this first half an hour is very crucial in capturing the client, no matter when they get in touch with you, because clients can get in touch early morning during the office hours, outside the office hours, especially in your case, housing disrepair, they can suddenly get upset and say, we have to do something about it. And it's 8 p.m. They find your website and they want to make a case. And if you respond, you have the client. If you don't respond, it's possible that they might go to another firm and make another inquiry somewhere else. And that will basically mean that you may lose a client. And statistically, if you put it in numbers, that could mean, I would say, 100,000
Thousands of
pound
pounds.
worth of client per year or more. Do you
For that
agree?
reason, our phone lines are open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Our online chat is answered by a real person 24/7, and we really believe in this client contact. And I think for law firms, especially small law firms, you're absolutely right that when you run a business and you're a small company, you can't be an expert at everything. So this is why companies like myself, a claims management company, comes in and we handle the initial inquiries, and we are that marketing arm of the small law firm. So, I mean, if you're a law firm and you're a small law firm, you probably outsource your accounting, you probably outsource your cleaning.
Yes.
You don't need to be an expert at everything. So I think that law firms traditionally have really struggled with the importance of picking the phone up and having staff members be on the phone. And I'm sure every single person that watches this podcast will have overheard across the office. Oh, tell them I'm in court. That's a pretty
Yes.
standard and that the client usually follows. And really,
Yes.
I think what's going to be looked at there is the staffing model within the solicitor's firm, or how the inquiries are actually how they're dealt with from the off.
Yes, absolutely. I used to run law firms in the UK, Leonard Solicitors in Southampton. I remember my office was behind the reception basically, and the phone was ringing all the time. A lot of time they couldn't answer, and we had a system that the call goes to someone else, and if that didn't answer, comes eventually to me. And I remember I was answering a lot of calls myself, and I couldn't believe how difficult it is to manage this. And I'm sure a lot of clients or potential clients would leave us because nobody was answering, and reception was always stressed, and people wanted updates, and they had questions that they couldn't answer, so they had to find someone who answers the question. It was always a challenge, and I believe it is still a challenge for many law firms, but it shouldn't be any longer because of the technology, I believe. And uh, technology is here to help us with things that we are not that good at. We are good at judgments, we are good at knowing what case is a good case and how to respond to a human inquiry in a human way. We understand their emotions and frustrations. AI isn't good at that, but AI is good at speed. It never forgets anything. It's good at following instructions as such that you can actually have systems in place that you have an employee, which is your AI. As you know, AI agents are increasingly popular. Law firms who embrace the technology, they actually help the reception and intake team to have more time, to have quality time with clients, and then let AI deal with the repetitive questions. We have an AI intake solution that many law firms in the UK and some in the US are using it. And I give you one example of a firm that is in claim management. So they deal with financial claims. They capture clients for different missold mortgage and these sort of things, and they are very busy, but they had the same issue with the reception. People ask the same question: how does no win no fee works? How do you get paid? Do I have to pay anything? Is it really nothing I have to pay? And what documents you need to see if I have a case? So many questions that everybody asks every day, the same questions. So they had a traditional way of answering these questions by email. Our solution is an AI receptionist. So we trained this receptionist with 230 pages of their website. So things that even the managing director doesn't remember about their website, but the receptionist knows it.
Yeah.
Plus their internal demos, client care, what type of claims they take, and all the list of things they do, what documents the clients has to provide. And this is incredible. And because it's prompt based, it's not a machine, When we talk about chatbot, people think it's like the old version that you talk to a robot and then no, it's not. It's as if a couple of actual people who knows the business are behind it. Sometimes they even switch. So one of them is expert in this, the other one is expert in the other thing. Basically, they are extremely happy now. Over the Christmas period, they emailed me that this is the first January that we actually are happy, that normally December, January is a quiet month. But thanks to this, when we were enjoying, we had 47 new clients over the Christmas holiday because people went to their website, saw the chatbot, started talking, and because it was so clever in capturing the client and talking to it, answering all the questions, people got involved. In the end, they left their details, inquiries. So I would say technology is there. I mean, imagine if law firms that you work with, they use the technology. Obviously, not
Some do.
everybody is, some do.
Some do.
Okay.
Some do already. Some of my partners already use AI, and I'm
Mhm.
using it increasingly so for things like follow-up telephone calls, informing the client that maybe there's a document they need to sign, can be done
Mhm.
with quite easily with a telephone call, and it can even ping the document at the same time to WhatsApp and to email to that client. So one specific client is really jumping into it, and his favorite phrase is that the AI never has a day off.
Yes, okay. So I'm pleased to hear that. Yeah, definitely that helps you because when they make the claim through you and you pass the solicitor, the sooner they deal with it, the better. And also, the better they handle the customers, the happier they are with you. And then they can bring more customers to you because you refer them to the solicitor and the client inquiry handled very well. And one of the inquiries people always have is, what is the update about my case? Where am I
Exactly.
standing? They
Yeah.
keep asking every now and then, where are we? How long is it gonna take? And it is their right because they handed on this professional work to you or your panel solicitors and they want to know what's happening. If there is a system that can make that very, very clever, which there is, then that makes the client happy. You will be proud that the client is happy and the solicitor will have more time to deal with the case itself rather than having to try to update every client. So these type of automations exist, and thanks to AI, they can be implemented. In terms of out of hours inquiries, so you said that your system covers them 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., which is pretty good. That is
Oh,
the
8 a.m.
type
8 a.m. actually. 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
8 a.m. to 9 p.m. That is perfect. That is very good because not many law firms have this in place. I mean, they operate during the office hours, and after the office hours, calls go to voicemail, and many people
Yeah.
statistically don't leave a voicemail because
No.
it's difficult. And even if they do, it's not guaranteed that they will get back a call. I actually done a case study. I called 20 law firms before Christmas. And yeah, I had a list of these firms. 10 of them didn't answer at
Yeah.
all. So it was busy or telephone rang, nobody answered, which I'm not surprised. Normally half of it goes unanswered. One said, we are a call center on behalf of this law firm you are calling because they are busy. We have a contract that we answer their calls. I felt
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to someone else. I wanted to talk to this law firm.
Yeah.
You can see how the client will be unhappy. And we
Exactly.
had others who answered, they said, I'm sorry, I said I want to speak to a managing partner or someone. They said, he's not available, send us an email. Or let me transfer you, and nobody answered. So the traditional way of dealing with client inquiry is not working anymore, and I believe it is affecting many law firms in a negative way, as I experienced it myself. So it's so good that firms like yourself are forward thinking and you have this system that deals with the client inquiry. And I actually saw your chatbot and it clarified that a human answers this.
I think that one of the mistakes that a lot of lawyers make is that they think that the client thinks like them. A lawyer is highly educated, highly intelligent person, not that the client necessarily isn't, but sometimes they're not. Being simple and using the avenues that the client likes to use helps draw them in as a client. So things like chatbots, because people are texting all the time, WhatsApping all the time, connecting with their the medium that they wish to connect with really helps.
Mhm.
We get a lot less phone calls than we did 10 years ago, a lot less, and we get a lot more inquiries. It seems to be going the way that people want, less direct personal approach, and with something like messaging, the client actually gets the facts written down in front of them, so they're feeling a lot more confident what they're being given, which we have all avenues available. But I think certainly with law firms that there's a great deal of thinking, well, the client thinks like I do, and that sometimes things need to be dumbed down a little bit.
Brilliant. Thank you, Will. Can I ask if there is any area of your business that you are actively using AI other than the typical ChatGPT and
No, but not yet.
chatbots?
We will be looking at getting some level of chat calling system for our. We've got thousands and thousands of people in our system that we haven't been able to get in contact with. They may have emailed
Mhm.
us, left their number, we haven't managed to reach them. And we're looking to get an AI system to call
Mhm.
and reach out as part of our CRM system. But
Yes.
unfortunately, it's winter time. So winter time is housing disrepair season. So the AI
Mhm.
thoughts go on the back burner until after Easter. But that's what
Yes.
we'll be looking to roll out with sort of next
That's
year.
a good solution. Yeah, definitely. The other solution is available is Cloud Code that we are using for a number of firms. There is this immigration firm. So, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Bing, they are all different LLMs. Claude is one of the best ones, and it's become my favorite. I haven't used ChatGPT for the last couple of months since I started using Claude. It's incredible. It is really fast and very accurate. It doesn't hallucinate. And within Claude, there is a system called Claude Code. Basically, what it does, you can create an AI agent using Claude Code. So there is an application you download called VS Code, and within VS Code, you create, let's say, client intake agent or document analyzer agent. So what it does, everything that you do on a repetitive basis every day, imagine you have someone in your office every day is doing the same thing over and over again. So basically a client send you a form, they have to fill in another form or do this and then create an email, send it to the panel. I'm just giving an example because I don't know exactly your workflow. What you do, Cloud Code will be trained to know your workflow and it connects to your system as well. And it's all ethical and it's safe. It's local. So VS Code is not connected to the internet as such. It's not, your data is not on the cloud. It's on your PC or the PC that you use VS Code. So it connects to your applications, connects to your emails and your folders, and you train it. It does it for you very quickly. So you don't have to say it again. You just set it up once, and every time an email comes in, it picks it up, does what you do manually. So basically, you're training it to do what you do every day on a repetitive basis. And I love it. I'm using it for a couple of things myself. And for
It
this immigration firm,
sounds very useful.
yeah, for this immigration firm, they love it as well because, again, every day they have the same thing. Somebody is calling and they send an email. They just got married. They want to do the immigration application. Because the workflow is the same, it does it automatically. It creates the email. It creates the list of documents they need. It's incredible. So this is the next thing. And in the USA, it has become the 2026 trend, this cloud code. So I'm happy that I got a chance to discuss it with you so that the listeners also know. I highly recommend everyone to start using it. And it's not expensive. You just pay £20 for the cloud license per month. Within that, you have the cloud code. It's just a system. You have to learn how to set it up. Once it's set up, it does everything. It's really incredible. And we saw a person on LinkedIn who was very expert in this, and they basically trained us how to do it. So I think we covered most of the things we wanted to discuss about client intake. If you have any questions from me, Will.
Well, I'm happy to and ready to embrace technology, but I think certainly the last 2 years ago, it wasn't quite there. People still like to speak to people or interact with people. Yesterday, I answered our online chat twice, and the first message comes up from us, which is automated, and then a human takes over. And I took over twice yesterday. I was asked, "Are you a robot?" So people they do not want to speak to just a chatbot, which is why we integrate human to it. So it opens up
Yes.
it opens up as a automated saying I'm not automated, even though it is. But as
Yes,
soon as
yes.
it's answered, it goes straight to a human. And I think specifically with housing, there are so many moving parts to it. It often takes that judgment call from a human
Mhm.
brain to decide whether we can help or not. So I, I'm very pro AI. I just don't know whether it's quite ready fully for my business. The code VS Code sounds really interesting. A lot of our
Mhm.
businesses still run off spreadsheets, or to an extent there's lots of spreadsheet data entry that's done every day. And
Mhm.
if you get something to learn to do that would save quite a lot of man hours over a month. Certainly,
Mhm.
be something I'm looking into following our chat.
No, definitely. And yeah, it's a lot of people are waiting, but while they are waiting, a number of firms are advancing. But those who are successful with AI are not going to tell other law firms, look, we are using this.
Oh,
This is fantastic. They will keep it quiet. And I have to say, because I work with law firms a lot and I have a lot of clients, some of the solutions are incredible. Just this AI receptionist, again, the assumption is it's a chatbot and it's a robot. It's not. The way I can give you the address of a couple of the platforms that we created for testing. You start talking to it, you will be incredibly amazed how knowledgeable it is, how much it knows about the subject area, and how engaging and involving it is. And when I look at the script of the conversation, I see people are saying, thank you. That was lovely. Okay. When they leave the email address and it says, okay, I get someone because some people ask for update about their case. They they have a real conversation, even though they know it's a robot, but they say, thank you, that was very helpful. So
yeah,
a real conversation is happening. So I would recommend maybe you can try after the 9 p.m., add another layer to your inquiry and test it. I'm not saying trying to sell and say come with our system. But if I were you, I would say, okay, I have this in place. Let me try for after 9 p.m., have another system on the top of it and see how that works in comparison to my own system. And then you can see the conversations, you can see the return, And you might say, wow, this is even better than I thought. And clients are happy and you get more business. Okay, we call it AI, but who cares? It does the job. It's quite
Yeah.
advanced, sophisticated. So yeah, I would give it a go. The trend is there. I have more time since I started using Cloud Code. Basically, it helped me. This meeting, it did. So every meeting I have, one of my agents, I give you example, it goes to your website, reads your website, reminds me about the meeting, send me an email with the things I have to cover, what your business is all about. And at the end of this meeting, if I give the conversation to it, it gives me the follow up and also tell me what to do next. So a lot of manual work that I used to do before, it's doing it for me. It's like you have an officer or a colleague. It doesn't cost you £1,500 a month. It costs you nothing almost. It's just a technology. So yeah, I think this year is gonna be exciting for the technology, and I love technology, and that's why I dropped my law firm business when AI came live back in 2022. I felt, okay, let me tap into this. I love it. I want to learn it. I publish about 7 books. One of them is AI for legal professionals and other books as well. Because of my personal passion for technology and also the fact that I want to help others to have more time and also generate more income, it gives me energy every day. So I love it. And I'm happy that we are here to see this transformation because if you go back to the old times, how much time lawyers had to spend on a lot of manual work. Of course, technology transformed, they do less and less of that, but we should not be doing what I call the donkey work. We should just relax, enjoy life, spend time with our families, and allow technology to take a lot of that load, and then we can concentrate on the quality time with clients, with our families, for ourselves as well. So absolutely. No, we can have another chat, maybe another informal chat and discuss things, and I can offer free of charge some solutions for you if I can. My aim is to try to help you. I quite like you and I enjoyed the conversation. And if we can do something together that can help both of us, that would be even wonderful.
Sure. It's certainly not. It's certainly on the table, and I'm very interested.
Thank you so much, Will. It was a
All right.
very good conversation. Hope
Yeah,
you
nice to speak with
enjoy
you.
the rest of your day.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I am interested. I'm just absolutely snowed under at the moment. But
Sure.
yeah, it's got real food for thought. So thanks very much.